students, today we are going to start with new poem titled Nose versus Eyes by William Cowper. Let's start with the icebreakers first. Question number 1. Complete the web with the help of adjectives used to describe eyes and nose in all respects. Two are done for you. See, for eyes, they have given two examples. We say beautiful eyes, discerning eyes. We can also say bright eyes, gentle eyes, expressive eyes, frightened eyes. So these are all the adjectives which we can use for eyes. Then nose. Here we can call it as sharp nose, pointed nose, stuffy nose, sensitive nose. So all these are the adjectives which we can use for nose. Question number 2. Given below are some words from legal terminology used in court affairs. Discuss and complete the table accordingly. One is done for you. See here, affidavit. Affidavit here means a written statement confirmed by oath or affirmation for the use as evidence in the court. Now, argument. Argument here you can say it is a series of reasons given for any matter which is being judged in the court. Consent. Here you can say it is voluntarily agreeing to the proposal of someone, that is known as consent. Counsel. Counsel here means a person who gives advice on legal matters. Judgment. Here you can say decision of the court. Trial. A judicial examination. Verdict means the formal decision issued by the jury. Contempt of the court here means offense of being disobedient to the court's orders. Notice here you can say information which is given in writing, that is legal proceedings and all, everything. And stay order here you can say temporarily stopping a judicial proceeding is known as what? Stay order. I hope you have understood all this your legal terminologies. Now next one. Name the 5 sensory organs and provide phrases, idioms and proverbs related to them. One is given for you. See there they have given here to turn a deaf ear. Here you can say this phrase is used when we want to refer to person who is refusing to listen to you. Then secondly you can say lend a ear means the person who is listening to you, or to whom you want to listen, whom you want the person to listen to. Lend a ear. Then pay through your nose. Here you can say pay a lot of money. Under the nose. Here you can say directly in front of you. And poke your nose here means to interfere. After that, let's see the small, you can say brief description about the poet William Cowper. William Cowper was one of the most popular 18th century English poets and composers of hymns. His poems deal with nature and everyday life. He is aptly described by Samuel T. Coleridge as the best modern poet of his time. Through his studies of jurisprudence, jurisprudence means what? Or about law. He later admitted that he was not much inclined to the legal profession, means he was not much interested in learning or studying about law. He wrote, "Happy is the one who knows just as much of the law to make himself as a little merry now and then with the solemnity of the juridical proceedings." Means here he wants to say the person should not go deep into the law. Here this poem is actually a satire on law, where he wants to tell us that law is, or you can say legal matters or the court is blind. He wants to say here he mocks at the blind justice of the court given by the court here. So the poet is saying here we should not go deep into the studies of law. We should know about the laws which can be very enough for us to live our daily life happily. See here, Nose versus Eyes is a satire on judiciary system. Means he is trying to mock at the judiciary system. It also mocks at the stone blind justice in a humorous manner, emphasizing upon the lack of empathy and common sense. Means here he wants to tell us that how the justice, how the law is blind here. It emphasizes mainly on the evidence. It does not take the human emotions into consideration. It does not take the human feelings into consideration and blindly gives the verdict. Let's see here. This you can say he wants to tell us his point of view through this poem, Nose versus Eyes. See here. We'll start with the poem. Between nose and eyes, a strange contest arose. Means there was a strange, you can say unusual argument going on between nose and eyes. The spectacle set them unhappily wrong. Means the argument was for the spectacle. Means they were having an argument for the spectacles, that whom the spectacle belonged. Nose said that it belonged to it, and I said no, it belonged to eyes only. See here, the point in dispute, dispute means argument. They had, you can say they were disagreeing. When I said that it belonged to me and Nose said it belonged to me, both did not agree with each other here. So they had a dispute. They disagreed with each other's views. As all the world knows, to which the said spectacles ought to belong. Means their argument was that to whom the spectacles belong. Does it belong to nose or it belong to eyes? So tongue was the lawyer and argued the cause. So who was the lawyer for this argument here? The tongue was the lawyer. With a great deal of skill and a wig full of learning. Wig here means what? A special covering for the head made of artificial hair worn by the judges. Now, not in today's time, but during the British era, at that time, the judges used to wear a wig where it had an artificial, you can say, hair worn by the judges. So it is known as wig. So here it's saying the tongue was the lawyer. The tongue was the lawyer who was arguing this you can say matter with great deal of skill. Means we all know how skillful, how tactfully the lawyers you can say have an argument in the court. And a wig full of learning, while chief baron means what? A powerful person here sat to balance the law. And who was the judge here? The here was the judge, and here is known as what? Chief baron. Means he was. Now in the legal matters, who is the most powerful person? The judge is the powerful person, because he gives the verdict here, and whatever is being said by the judge is considered as the final decision. So for here they are saying when this argument was going on, here was the baron, chief baron, means he was the powerful person, he was the judge, and he was here you can say he was he is been described as a judge wearing the wig. So famed for his talent in nicely discerning. Means he is well known. Famed means what? He is well known for giving good decisions, right decisions. Discerning means what? Showing good judgment here. Correct judgments. No one can, you can say, point out any mistake, or no one can argue that whatever decision is, sorry, given by the court is wrong. In behalf of the nose, it will quickly appear, and your lordship, he said, will undoubtedly find that the nose had spectacle always in wear, which amounts to possession, time out of mind. So here what the lawyer, means who is the lawyer? The tongue. How the tongue is trying to prove that the spectacles belong to the nose? It is telling that your lordship, means he is referring, he is addressing to the judge, means he is addressing to the ear, and he is saying your lordship will undoubtedly find, means you will come to the conclusion and you will come to the you will come to know that the nose has had spectacles always in wear. Means it wants to tell that nose, it is only possible because of the nose that a person can wear a spectacle, which amounts to possession, time out of mind. Means it becomes, so from this we can come to know, or it comes to we can come to the conclusion that the you can say spectacles belongs to nose only. The holding of the spectacles, then holding the spectacles up to the court Your lordship observes they are made with a straddle as wide as the ridge of the nose is, in short, designed to sit close to it just like a saddle. Now straddle here means extend across both the side. Now we all know that here in the spectacle near the lenses there is a bridge which is according to the size of our nose here. Means that bridge should sit properly on the nose, then only a person can wear the spectacle properly. So here what is the proof that here you can say the lawyer is giving, the tongue is giving, he is saying that they are made with a straddle, means they are made with you can say a bridge which extends across both the side of the you can say spectacle as wide as the ridge of the nose, means according to that size. Ridge means edge of your nose. In short, it is designed to sit close to it, means it should sit on that ridge. The spectacle should fit on that ridge, then only it is properly, it can be properly put on by the person on or looked for properly through the spectacle. Just like it is like a saddle here, saddle to sit or for the rider on the horse or the camel to sit properly, they put a saddle and then only the person can sit properly over the horse or you can say camel here. In the same way, to put on your spectacles over that ridge, it should fit properly, the bridge of that spectacle should fit properly, then only the person can wear it properly, wear the spectacle properly. Again, would your lordship a moment suppose this a case that has happened, and maybe again that the visage or countenance means the face had not a nose, pray who would or who could wear spectacles then? Means here that lawyer is giving, the tongue is giving one more you can say point to prove that the spectacles belong to nose, that he is saying if the person didn't had the face only, how will the person wear the spectacle here? It is not possible. If it didn't have the nose, how will the person wear the spectacle here? It is not at all possible here. On the whole it appears, and my argument shows, with a reasoning the court will never condemn, that the spectacle plainly were made for the nose and the nose was as plainly intended for them. Means here he wants to tell with this arguments, with this evidence, I want to tell that the nose here you can say spectacle is plainly made for nose and the nose plainly has possession over the spectacle here. Then shifting his side as a lawyer knows how, means here is saying, here these lines tell us that how clever or you can say tactful the lawyers are. Whoever pays you more, they really try to prove them as the innocent person in front of the court here. How much ever the person has done wrong, how much ever the person is you can say like a criminal or he has done something wrong, he has violated the rules and all, the lawyer is very clever enough to prove the person, prove his client that he is innocent here. So how first he is trying to tell that the nose possesses the spectacle here, and the nose is the you can say plainly the main owner of this spectacle. But again here you will find the lawyer means the tongue has shifted his side, and here he is trying to tell now here he is trying to speak on behalf of eyes here. See what he has to say. He pleaded again in behalf of the eyes, but what were his arguments few people know. Means he tried to give some evidence in on behalf of eyes also, but it is not you can say revealed to the people that what he has told here on behalf of the eyes. For the court did not think they were equally wise. Means here they want to tell us how poor people, the person who has lot of money, he can hire a good lawyer, and that lawyer very tactfully try to present his client is innocent and all in front of the court by giving fake evidences and all and everything. Everything is done with the help of money and all. Some people are bribed, even the you can say the lawyers are bribed and all. If the you can say the evidences, the people who are going to give your sentences here that the thing is going on is correct or wrong, those people are bribed and all. So here he wants to tell the person who is poor, who doesn't have money, and who cannot prove his innocence in front of the court, who cannot give the evidences in on paper and all everything, though he is correct here, he is been deprived of justice, or he has to suffer here, and he is proved wrong here. So in the same way here, eyes also, though eyes is the person who you can say main owner of the spectacle, because you can say here spectacle is mainly made for eyes only. When our eyes become weak, we cannot see properly through our eyes and all. For that reason we use spectacle here, but still here eyes could not prove its innocence. Eyes could not prove or you can say give evidences that it is the main owner of the spectacle here. So that's why what happened, the court thinks that the reason whatever the lawyer has given is not equally wise what the lawyer had given for the nose. So his lordship decreed with a grave solemn tone. Means now it is the time for now the judge has listened to on both the side, means arguments of both the people here, the eyes as well as nose. Now he is going to decree, means what, he is going to give the verdict, he is going to give the judgment here with a grave solemn tone, means in a formal and dignified tone. Means here the last word, last sentence, means the final decision is given. It is known as what, verdict. It will be given by the judge. Decisive and clear, without one if or but, that whenever the nose put his spectacles on by daylight or candlelight, eyes should be shut. Means here what the judge is saying, that it is very decisive, it is very correct decision here, very clear. Everyone will come to know, we have evidences, and from that we come to know that whenever the nose put his spectacles on, so in the daylight or the candlelight, eyes should be shut, because the spectacle doesn't belong to eyes but it belongs to the nose. See how the judgment is given. It is really a very good you can say a poem, where we come to know that the poet has very nicely mocked, or you can say in a very humorous manner he has told us that how the judgment given by the court lacks empathy and common sense here. If any common person can tell that the spectacle belongs to the eyes only, it is the main owner of the spectacle is eyes, it is mainly made for eyes. But here, though as the eyes could not prove itself in front of the court here, so the decision has gone in favor of the nose, and the eyes has to suffer. So same thing happens in our life, children here. The people who are poor, though they are innocent, though they have not done anything wrong and all, but still as they don't have any money to prove themselves, any evidences to prove themselves, no, they don't have money to hire a good lawyer here so that he can very nicely put up the matter in front of the judge and all, they have to lose the case though they are in right position. And the people who are corrupt, who are the criminals and all, who just try to prove themselves in the court that they are the innocent people, and the court also blindly gives you can say verdict in favor of them. I hope you have understood the poem. In my next lecture, I'll discuss figures of speech and the brainstorming questions of the poem. Go through the video lecture again and try to understand it more nicely. Thank you.